Hi, English 365. My name is Trey Leger, and I am studying kinesiology at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And today I will be presenting to y'all my research that I did this semester on the exoskeleton robotic suit. This robotic suit is a mechanically forced robot that is created to be strapped on individuals, mostly used in rehab centers and labor-intensive facilities like the industrial workforce. So my main research was done on rehab centers like physical therapy clinics, occupational therapy clinics, and nursing homes. So the specific assisted device is actually pictured right here. It's called the Rewalk Exoskeleton 6.0, and it was created by Exobionics in 2020. So this specific assisted device is designed to improve walking ability for people suffering from paralysis, multiple sclerosis, and neurological conditions. All right, so I did perform 2 different interviews with one being the physical therapist that treated a specific patient suffering from a traumatic brain injury, and the other interview was actually done with the patient himself, the traumatic brain injury patient. So first I will talk about the physical therapy response to the exoskeleton utilization. So the therapist said the hips, knees, and ankles are basically the main muscle groups worked for patients who are suffering from paralysis, which makes a lot of sense because hip, knees, and feet are basically your main movers for walking patterns, also known as gait pattern. So he specifically emphasized the pelvic strap here pictured on the exoskeleton. He talked about having that strap really in place helped with a lot of his patients' progress and goals because the pelvic girdle is actually securely strapped into the correct proper form. So many people who suffer from paralysis actually have an anteriorly pelvic tilt or a posteriorly pelvic tilt. So having that strap did actually cut all anteriorly pelvic tilts and posteriorly pelvic tilts. So that was a great advantage of the suit that he talked about. He said the walking patterns is really highly emphasized with the exoskeleton, which makes sense. It's exactly what it's made for. So he said specifically squatting and lunging would be pretty difficult to do in the suit. So it's typically used just for walking and getting that patient back. So it's he said right before using the exoskeleton suit would be like a 2-month window with the patient working on gait patterns using a gait belt. A gait belt is actually a belt that goes around the patient's waist and it straps in, and depending on the patient status, they can either be max assist, mod assist, or min assist. Max assist would mean you need 3 or more workers with the patient. Mod assist would mean that you need 2, and then min assist would mean that you need basically nobody right there standby. You can be from afar watching the patient's form and proper body mechanics. So he said that was the 100% one of the best advantages of this exoskeleton suit, because he said, if you actually are working with the patient and they're min assist, the minimally assisted, you don't have to be right there. So you can stand back, watch the proper mechanics, and get to your goals quicker. So the patient himself did say that he did like the exoskeleton suit, but it did cause some frustration, which is actually exactly what I learned in my research. So it states in a lot of different websites and books that I researched that TBI patients cannot handle loud settings with music or excessive movement. So basically the exoskeleton was a lot for them to handle, because at this point the patient said he was not neurologically all there yet. So it was frustrating for him. He said the pivotal moment of his plan of care and actual rehab was when he was transferred from the Texas Rehabilitation Center to Lafayette General, and that was when he was prescribed Ativan. Ativan is actually Ambien. Ambien has an adverse effect on patients who are suffering with TBI. So it got him into that proper muscle tone and activation of muscles. But overall, for the exoskeleton suit, he said, he did achieve his goals with it. He was able to sidestep, do some forward and back movements, and he really could also tell that the physical therapy team that he worked with was gaining that higher productivity. So that was a great thing. I also did talk to him about another therapy. He said the Ergo Trainer, which is a treadmill that's created by the same company. The Ergo Trainer treadmill, which is actually the lower extremity robotic suit and also the upper extremity robotic suit that's strapped to the patient the entire time to get them into the proper balance and posture required for body mechanic walking gait pattern. So what happens is they get on the treadmill and a harness is connected to their head and strapped to the ceiling. So they have the upper extremity robotic suit, the lower, and also the harness. Okay, yeah, so basically throughout my research and all the interviews I did, I won't be able to talk about all them all today, but I did find that, this exoskeleton suit is a milestone innovation technology that is getting us, a really good results in industrial technology. Firefighters use them, military uses them, labor-intensive companies. I mean, it helps with productivity. So that is the biggest thing that I found out. Thank you so much.